Okay guys, welcome to the fourth tutorial. Although we don't need to implement the saving um, functionality for now, but I just want to get it out of the way, so like the work gets finished. So we'll just go and create some of the classes, but first we need an interface. We can name this news DAO. Then we need a view model, news view model. And then we need a news application which extends okay, and then we need a database. Also we would need news view model factory. You can just name it fac. Okay, so now let's quickly work on this. We will annotate a data access object because this will help us to uh, implement, like add, delete, or display the news that are in our database. But obviously first we will fetch the news response from our API, and then like we can store it. So this is the second stage of this app, uh, but while we are at it, so I'll just like keep on working on it. Insert, suspend fun, insert news. So what is going to be saved articles? Saved article. The reason I have not chosen this article because you know that this is for API and this is for our room database, so it's totally separate things. Okay, delete from, and make sure that the name here is from this entity, so the name has to be corrected. Okay, delete all. Okay, oh, so let's just import this annotation also. Delete from news. Okay, it's going to be query, sorry. Okay, so this query is for room, right? So that is why I have imported rooms annotation, not the retrofit. Please make sure. Sometime if you would just go and import from retrofit, then this is for the fetching the API response. This is not for querying from your local database, which is room in this case. So please be aware of this. Now also, if we want to display all of our news that are in our database, so then like we will use this query annotation. And yeah, so here we can just say get all news, and this will return live data list saved articles, and we can import. Oh, why that is happening? Okay, that's good. And for if we want to select the news by ID, get news by ID, because if we want to display only one news, then we can just go live data and only saved articles class that we can pass in there. There is another way to do it, but I'm just using this one. Okay, So our data access object is done. We can go to news database and just paste this boilerplate code in here, and then I can explain what I have done. Okay, so saved articles, class converters, right? So this is where I was telling you that for the source that we have, the long story that I told you is an object itself, so Kotlin cannot convert it, and we have to like write an extra code that converts it. So that is why we are annotating our database with that, but rest is all same. This is just giving us a reference to our data access object in the database class itself. Now we'll just go and make a news repository, and here we'll just name it as news repo, and in news repo we will write some methods, and this is taking in the constructor get all saved news, and this returns live data and list of saved articles. So this is the method that we have written, and return news repository get all saved news for all saved news. Okay, this is good. News by ID, or like if we have an ID then we want to find that, so get news by ID. That is going to be also a live data saved article instance. Return news repo get by ID. Okay, now here comes the API part. This is for the room database only, for room. So from getting breaking news, so we are using Kotlin Coroutines, because here in our data access object we are also using suspend for inserting the news. So what I will do here is suspend fun get breaking news, and this is taking a parameter of country. We can just type code string and page number, that is going to be integer. So here we will use our retrofit instance that we have created, API get breaking news, and we'll just pass the code and the page number. Okay, cool. And we'll perform the same thing for our category. Get category news, and here we don't need page number, so that's just the category news, and that category is taking the category itself, like tech news, business news, or whatever, right? And also to delete all news, we'll just use fun delete all news repo delete all. Done. We are done with our repository. Here what we'll do is view model extends Android view model, and here it is going to take wall news repository and also wall app. The context here will just pass to this. application. Okay, good. So now we'll create one mutable live data instance that's going to, because live data we cannot change, but mutable live data, like the name suggests, we can change, right? So once we are fetching the news is always changing, right? One time is this, and then another time after 1 hour we have a new one. So fetching news data, no, adding news data to our uh, adding news data, that's all. So we'll just say breaking news is type mutable live data resource, because we have created this wrapper here that helps to news, and it's going to be, this is a type mutable live data. So we can just hit alt enter. So this is the response, that resource that we have created in our app, not the above one, so just be aware. So this news class comes from here, that keeps a track of all the articles, and the article itself is a class. So this article, if you could just pause the video and, like, you know, if you're coding with me, look at your project, and then you would understand from where to where I'm importing stuff. Okay, we'll just take a variable page number, and the value is now get no, category news, same thing, but yeah, it's going to be same because we are using the same API queries. So okay, this is for category. I'm glad that in 4th tutorial we have come so far, but I'll just let it continue until we finish this view model factory also. Okay, to get saved news, wall get saved news, what do we have here? News repo get all saved news. Okay, now also once view model is initialized, then we automatically want, because if we launch the app, then there is the breaking news, right? So we want the news to be reloaded, right? So this is that init block that initially gets triggered automatically when we run our app. Okay, so first I'll create some methods for inserting the news, and then we will go towards this again. This is going to be a little bit long. Insert news, we'll just say saved article, so I'm creating a function that is going to add news to our database, and here we will just use view model scope is equals okay, launch, and this has to be done on the background thread. So saved article, saved news repo, insert. I think I have not created a function for that. Yeah, I think here has to be a function. Okay, so here it has to be news, I think DAO. mm, yes, in the repository, instead of repository having a constructor parameter, we have to add like the news data object. So I'll just change it, get news by id, and also here we will news dot delete. Okay, delete all. Okay, so here we have to create a function saved article and news DAO dot insert saved article. And now we'll just go back to view model because it was a little bit of messed up. Yeah, okay, save news repository, insert news, saved art. Now our code is complete to add news. And we will create another function here, fun insert article, so we can use this function in our fragments. Insert news, saved art. So this is just for inserting, and for deleting we will just do something similar. Maybe we can just copy it. Okay, delete news, delete all news maybe, and this is not going to take any parameter inside. Okay, news repo delete all, and here also let's just change it a little bit. So this is for deleting, and we'll just create another one, delete all articles, and call this function here. Okay, so now our room database stuff is pretty much done, but now here comes the real fetching the categories news and fetching the breaking news. So we have to work on that, and I have this boilerplate code, or the code that I have written in my previous project, and I'm going to use it because what if, because this app is fetching response from internet, right? So we need a response, like we want to check if there is no internet then what happens, but if there is internet then what happens. So that is why, to check connectivity, we'll just copy this, checking connectivity. So this is like the code that you can find even on internet, and obviously we have to add these permissions. Okay, done. So now this is like, what is this doing? This is just checking if there is internet. Okay, display our news. If there is no internet, then like do something, because if we don't include this code, then our app will crash when the Wi-Fi or internet is off, right? Because I have tried that, and that is why this is an extra step. Otherwise we can just, if there is Wi-Fi, we can just implement code to post value to this, and then we will be fine. But we don't want to do that. We want to check if there is internet, then okay, go ahead. If there is not internet, then post something else. Okay, so with that out of the way, what I'll just do is I'll just go and create another function, private suspend fun safe or check internet and breaking news. we'll just add country code string and breaking news dot post value resource dot loading. Okay, and now we'll just do try and catch block. For some weird reason my computer is giving me some voices, so please ignore those. Okay, here we'll just get this has internet connection. Then what? Wall response news repository get breaking news, pass this country code and page number. Okay, and then breaking news dot post value is going to be response dot we will create another function for this, so we'll just say handle breaking news dot response, because this function is not there, so this is giving us an error, but we'll just create it right here and just leave it. Else it's saying if it has internet connection, that we are checking in this one, so not to be confused. Else breaking news dot post value, and we are using our wrapper class that helps us to keep a track of error or success. No internet connection. Okay, now here we will just create a catch block t throwable. So when t is IO exception, then what happens is breaking news dot post value resource dot error network failure. Else breaking news post value resource dot error conversion error. So that's without that, like out of the way. Okay, response is retrofit, so here we will just import, and here we'll just write some of the last codes. Okay, handle breaking news response is handle breaking news response. Okay, so this handle breaking news response, we have to call that function, and yeah, I'm just trying to locate where did I put that function. Okay, so if response is successful, then what happens is response's body result response. Yeah, this is basically it, right? But if we want to change it, we can just say result response. So this we can just bring it here, because this body is this body is carrying this response inside it, and if you want you can just rename it. So we have what this is what exactly I have done. I have renamed it return resource dot success result response, and then we can just return resource dot error response dot message. Okay, and now what I'll just do here is so place this function under this function check Okay, now what we have to do is getting breaking news. In this one we have to create one function because we are using Kotlin coroutines, so we'll just say get breaking news, and it will take country code as a parameter. Okay, by mistake I clicked insert. So okay, so what is happening here is, oh wait, I think I have done this function already. Yeah, check internet is, I have done this function already. So we'll just go in here, fun, get breaking news code, country code, and then view model dot launch, check internet breaking news and code this, and now we should be fine, and we are calling this function as soon as the view model is fired up. So that's all we can. And for category news, we'll do is we will just simply get category news, because this check of internet if it's connected or not, because breaking news are the first one to be loaded, right? Otherwise our app crashes. So that is why we are just performing that check on the breaking news fragment, or where the breaking news are being loaded. Categories news are loaded after that. So obviously assuming that our app has launched and there is internet already, so then we will see breaking news, and if not, then we will not even see breaking news. So for that, if you want to perform the check for category news, you can also do that, but I'm just going to use a simple method for loading category news also. Get news, okay, category, this mutable, what is the name? Yeah, category news. So we'll just go in here, category news dot post value resource dot loading, and qual response news repository, get category news, the category string is going to be, and then category news post value handle breaking news response. So here, like, handle breaking news function that we have is basically, okay, let me just check. Yes, I think here we have to add simple news, I think. Yeah, so we'll just come back to this later, okay, once we are done. But for this tutorial I will end this tutorial here, and what we have done is we have successfully created our room database view model factory. We have not created view model factory, so we'll just go and create it. And this is not much here, we'll just copy paste because it's a simple or I'll just create it. Wall news repo and wall application, news application. It's going to extend view model factory provider, actually view model provider dot factory, and here we'll just post these codes. Okay, that's all we have to do here. And in terms of category, we'll just come back to it, okay, later in the tutorial. But for now, what we have done is we have implemented view model, we have set our methods to fetch the data, and everything is complete, and now we just have to work on the views and the adapters.